Hey guys, Sherman here. It is Friday, March 18th. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Everything's going great here. Pretty smooth day at the office so far. We've already done 16.4 a few times. It's a pretty good workout. It's a little bit spicier than people are really expecting. But should be a good workout. Hope that everyone has a fun weekend planned. I have a little plan, not too much. So want to make sure that everyone's logged in. I see some people starting to jump on, so I know everything's good. So today we are going to talk about failure, right? We're going to talk about this thing called failure. It's looked at in a very, very negative way these days, and most people are very, very intimidated by failing. I see my boy Brian's on here. He's driving. He said something that freaking fires me up each time. Brian Alexander. He's a gym owner in Chicago. Guy I respect, look up to. He says, "Bet on black and let it go," or something like that. He's like, "Bet on black and let it fly," right? So basically, what he's saying, you have to make a decision, right? You have to make a decision, and you have to and you have to stick with it and sort of go with it for a while, right? I believe that too often when people run into little hurdles and things that don't go as planned, it's super easy to get super easy to get frustrated and not really understand what you can learn from the situation. I think that failure for most people are not starting up they're not starting a business with $20 million. Of course, we hear those stories where people are starting big businesses and stuff like that. But most of the time, most small businesses are starting off lean. So that's why you hear people sort of saying, fail early, fail often, which I kind of get that, but that doesn't mean just throw your hat out there and just see what sticks. You need to have a game plan. You need to, again, one of the things that I talk about on here often, you need to find people that are going where you want to go or have been there that can give you guidance. Because if you do that, you can miss a lot of hurdles and mistakes, right? I've missed out on a lot of small hurdles and mistakes. I've been able to save a lot of money by not losing that stuff that guys who've gone before me, they say, "Hi, you shouldn't do that, Sherm. I've done that, and it's probably going to work out this way." So if I'm serious, I'm going to at least listen so that I can not make that same mistake. Too often, people, they just jump into it, and they just go at it full speed without asking for help at all, because they want people to think that they know everything, and then you end up making a huge mistake. And when you're struggling and you should be reaching out for help, now you're too embarrassed, right? It's a bad cycle. We see it all the time. I see it all the time. So there's a guy on here right now, my man Chris Cooper. You guys look at him in the comments. Hashtag Sherman is the new black. He's my business mentor, right? So me getting to know him, talk to him, and just being more involved with other affiliate owners, I see other gym owners. I see that often. A lot of guys, they're married to doing stuff a certain way, right? That's the way they learned it, so that's the right way to do it. That's a bad place to be in. Because just because you learn how to do something a certain way doesn't mean it's the only way that works. It's the only way it has to be. If you're not willing to innovate and change, if you are running your business the same way in 2016, the same way that you were running in 2012, I can guarantee you that you don't have a successful business, right? It's not very successful because times change, you mature, the market changes, all this type of stuff right here. So you always have to be growing, innovating, trying to make yourself better, trying to make your company better. And this just doesn't apply to entrepreneurs. This applies to you if you're going to work from 9 to 5 every day. If you're still going to work and sitting in a cubicle and doing the exact same thing that you were doing 4 years ago, like a shame on you, right? You should be doing stuff that's gonna make those around you better, right? Help other people, and then in turn, you're gonna be able to make some friends and move up and stuff like that. Like Brian said, innovate or die, right? Either you grow and innovate, or you're gonna get left behind, right? I think too often people are just stuck in their ways. How often do we hear about companies? They come up fast. We hear about whatever company it is. I'll just use a name. Like we hear about MySpace, right? At one time, MySpace was the hottest thing. MySpace started in like my time. I never got on MySpace, but so MySpace, you can get on there, and it's sort of like the Facebook before Facebook. Get on MySpace, talk, send pictures, message, all that stuff. But they didn't innovate quite quick enough, right? So then now we have, years later, now we have Facebook. I don't think anyone uses MySpace. I don't even know if MySpace is still around. But that's my point. No one really knows. The same thing can happen to Facebook if they don't continue to innovate and grow. As of right now, it seems like they're on a great path. But we hear about that often, right? One of my buddies, he always tells me, you have to continue to push yourself. You have to push yourself, regardless of how much success you have. You have to push it. You have to push it because you always want to get better and better. Now, that doesn't mean that you're never satisfied. You don't enjoy, the process. But if you get to a point where you think you've made it, you won't stay there long, right? You won't stay there long, right? We all hear about different artists and companies that sort of do that, At one time they're hot, and then 6, 12, 18 months later, they're unheard of. To me, that's one of the scariest things for me. It is the it is the fear of success, right? And not becoming successful, but not being able to stay there. Most small businesses go out of business because they're not prepared for success. Because what happens when you start small, you give it your all, you're taking care of every single customer 110%. But then let's say you get a ton of new people in, or a ton of new product. Now you can't handle it. Now your customer service goes down, and our people start going in different ways, right? Oh, you guys see that comment? So Brian Alexander, he's saying Blockbuster. Everyone remember Blockbuster? I actually love Blockbuster. That was like a treat on a Friday night. Go to Blockbuster, pick out the pick out the movies, the VHS, take them home, get some popcorn, and watch a movie. Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix and turned it down, right? I'm pretty sure they turned it down because they said that would never work. I remember when I first heard about Netflix, personally I was thinking, man, that's not going to really work. You got to send in a movie. It's going to take too long for the turnaround. But look, now I'm pretty sure most Blockbusters are closed, if not all of them. And Netflix is a household name. And and even Netflix, they've innovated. Let's think about when they first came out. They were only mailing, CDs, DVDs, or whatever. Now you can have a Netflix account online where you stream stuff. You can pay them a little bit more. You can skip commercials. Like they're a classic company who, came in at the right time. There was already someone there sort of in that market, but they made that market better, right? So regardless of what you're doing, if you don't stay hungry and continue to grind, someone's gonna come and take it from you. That's the sort of thing that I tell myself. I like to play, little games with myself, try to keep a little chip on my shoulder to make sure I stay hungry, because I don't want to think about someone coming in and putting me out of business. And no one can really put you out of business if you're really working hard on your craft every day, you're working smart, you have the right people around you. You're really not gonna struggle and really go out of business, I don't think. I really don't feel that way. If you're working hard, you're surrounding yourself with the right people. There's no such thing as doing all the right things. I don't think anyone can do all the right things. But if you're really getting after it every single day, things are gonna work out if you're doing if you're working smart as well. So That's the type of thing that I really like to see. So I don't think that failure, if you go through something, it doesn't go as planned, I don't think failure is really a bad thing if you learn from it. Now, if you continue to make the same mistakes over and over, or similar mistakes over and over, now failure is a bad thing. One of the good things about failure, if it freaking teaches you, all right, I can't do that again, and I have to think. That's the reason a lot of guys that go bankrupt, they end up coming back stronger, right? Because when they fail, they go bankrupt, they don't have any more cash. Now they understand, all right, I need to focus and buckle down so I can get there. I've seen it happen with some gym owners too. They get right there at that point of failure, and they realize, all right, game's about to be over. Then they get serious about everything. Like, this is a pretty cool time right now for CrossFit gym owners. CrossFit is in right now. I think it always stay in, but it's in right now, especially this time of year. I can sit back and watch guys that basically want to be rich frawning. If you don't know what rich frawning is, just Google it. They want to be rich frawning, but they also want to run a very successful business. I am not by any means saying that you can't run a successful business and be an elite athlete, but I'm saying it's very, very difficult, right? You have to give and take, and you just can't have everything, You can't dedicate 8-9 hours of your day to eat, sleep, rest, and then 8 or 9 hours of your day to running your business. Because if you're spending 8 hours, someone else is spending 16, like Brian. That guy doesn't sleep. He's messaging me at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's an animal. But really, that's the type of work ethic that it takes. And I don't think that failure is a bad thing, right? If you can bounce back from it. You cannot let failure kick you and keep you down. There's nothing wrong with failing. When you fail, reach out for help. It's not a bad thing, right? Getting help is not a bad thing. I tell everyone all the time, they say, oh, gym's going great. I ask for help all the time. I ask for help. I have a mentor. I have friends that are great that help me figure stuff out all the time. So if you're not a person that doesn't like to ask for help, or, you don't want to bother anyone, you better get over yourself before it's too late. It'll be too late. Ask for help. If someone sees you're working hard, they are willing to help you. All right? So, guys, that's about all I have for today. I'm excited, though. Excited for next week. Monday through Friday, 11:45. I'm on here every day. You can post questions if you have them. I'll answer them if I can. If I can't, I'll figure them out. Then I'll come back and answer them for you. So 11:45, Monday through Friday. Remember, tell a friend to tune in. I'm out.